Hello, everyone. My name is Teresa A. Tican from Isabela Cup Center. It is always an honor to be talking with you, dear partners and colleagues here in Atomy. Thank you very much for having me. Are you glad you are here? Yes. If you are, please say thank you to the people who invited you here in Atomy. Atomy is our route to the best cosmetics, health supplements, household goods, and the best opportunity to improve our financial well-being. Atomy will give us much joy and fulfillment. Just follow its guidelines, cultures, and principles. Let us never go astray. I will be talking about the three cultures of Atomy. Atomy strives to be a premier company by adhering to its three cultures. The first culture is the culture of observing principles. The second is culture of growing together. And the third is culture of sharing. Together, these cultures form the foundation for Atomy to become a 100-year company. The first one, we will be discussing the culture of observing principles. It inspires Atomians to adhere to principles to benefit all members of society. Principle-centered culture is the basis of atomic culture. To root out the negative culture of the multi-level marketing in place of a sound culture, Atomy has made much efforts since long ago. The culture to follow principles is the core value of Atomy in order to enhance its corporate competitiveness and improve future development. Atomy is keen on changing the image of network marketing. All of Atomy's managerial activities are based on two principles. The first one is the principle of distribution under the key phrase absolute quality, absolute price. The second would be the principle of business. Honesty and goodness is the best strategy. Observing principles is a value that cannot be neglected, although it is difficult to keep and some even say it is foolish. Adhering to the principles will lead Atomy to last over 100 years and become a sustainable company. Atomy's principle-centric culture urges all Atomians to regard principles as an indispensable value. Even in our seminars, we always say, let us hold on to the principles we uphold here in Atomy. Let us first discuss the principle of distribution. Absolute quality and absolute price. This policy demonstrates its resolution to abide by the principle of distribution, providing quality products at reasonable prices to benefit consumers. The direct selling system connects producers and consumers with the shortest route, and we try to give our best to offer the lowest price for equal quality and the best quality products at an equal price. And by minimizing the total shopping expenses of consumers before and after purchase. It aims to become Atomy, a name you can trust and use, a trustworthy brand. The principle of business. Honesty and goodness is the best policy. The best business strategy is being honest and good. Atomy always guides its members to conduct their business according to this principle. For direct selling business, it is highly encouraged for the members to practice promotion upon the principle of honesty and goodness because a company cannot be sustained only by providing absolute quality, absolute price, products, and services if its members disregard the rules and go astray. Therefore, in 2012, Atomy members established an ethics committee among themselves to eradicate and terminate adverse practices in the industry and foster an upright and healthy culture among business owners. The committee's efforts include a no betting rally, movement to eliminate negative culture, and declaration of a global code of ethics. Included in the code of ethics is how we should present our products. It states that to maintain the highest standards of integrity, honesty, and responsibility in dealing with the company, consumers, and other members, present Atomy products in a truthful and sincere manner and keep the company unharmed from damages resulting from mispresentations by members. I still remember the first time I was to be a product speaker. I received an email from the company marketing team. It was a reminder that when we present products, we should not exaggerate or make overstatements about the products. Concentrate on the benefits that we get from them through experience. That is why it is always best to use the products first before you market them. One great example is the Atomy toothpaste. Although some of our consumers and members say that they use this toothpaste as a facial wash, a feminine wash, an ointment for cuts and burns, ointment for insect bites, and the like, Atomy toothpaste is still a toothpaste. And the toothpaste is for the mouth. This only shows how good and true Atomy is. That makes me even prouder to be an Atomian. Are you proud to be an Atomian? Of course, yes. The answer is yes. The second would be the culture of growing together. This helps members, consumers, and local communities benefit from win-win partnerships. Mutual growth of Atomy and its members and partnering companies. Atomy makes payments in cash to its partners a week after delivery, and for partners short in operating funds, it pays for the raw materials in advance. Also, Atomy HQ conducts seminars for customers under the slogan Super Synergy of United Hearts for everyone's success regardless of group line. Atomy supports local societies for their growth and development. Furthermore, its finances partners interest-free in their efforts to lower costs and enhance product quality. If the partnering companies do well, our consumers will be able to purchase better goods at lower prices. Atomy can then earn the trust of consumers and grow even more. When we grow, our partners will grow together with us. This culture of growing together is how Atomy makes a good life for everyone. The third would be the culture of sharing. Sharing is Atomy's way of communicating with its society. It is a way of showing love towards another, loving and caring for one another. Atomy's employees, members, and the company itself have hosted many charity events, believing in the idea that a business is rooted in society and that business and society genuinely contribute to one another by sharing. Sharing is not only one of the most important corporate cultures in Atomy, but also a method of giving back to society. Atomy has kept its vow to contribute to the environment with numerous charity events since its foundation, and social distribution are precious missions that we must accomplish as we are members of our society. Our true goal surpasses simply creating a profit as a business to striving to improve the lives of every person in society. Atomy sure that these three cultures will be a fertile foundation for it to last over the next 100 years. I was born and raised in Kilometer 6 Asin Road, Baguio City. This was where the wood carving industry developed outside Ifugao. It is where I saw how united and caring people were. Let me tell you a few things about this place that I reminisce about. The nearby river was clean then, and there were times when most fathers would go to the river to catch fish and sometimes frogs. When they have a good catch, we'll usually distributed them to the families. There were times too that they would go to the mountains. Our community is in between two, and they would find honey, mushroom, and fruits such as guavas and berries, and they would distribute them the same way when they returned. When I was a kid, the other kids and I would go to swim in the river. That was where I learned how to swim. We would go play hide and seek in the mountains too. The road was also our playground, more so because there were barely any cars passing back then. It takes a village to raise a child, so they say, and the community taught us to be good children. We were taught not to fight with each other, to care for another if they get hurt, to share our food, and to talk politely. We would also address our neighbors by auntie and uncle, and even if we are not related. These were the things our parents and neighbors would often tell us to do. By the way, most of the folks in the community were Ifugaos. Although I am not a full-blooded Ifugao, my mother was from Ifugao and my father was from La Union. I embraced the culture wholeheartedly. As we got older, we were also taught by leaders of the community to be involved in church activities. There were organizations for the youth like Knights of the Altar and the Legion of Mary. We would sometimes accompany the priests, visiting homes, visiting the sick, baptizing, and others, even when it means climbing mountains and crossing rivers. I always find joy and excitement when things like these are accomplished. All of these are what I have treasured and loved most from the community where I was born. I also cannot forget the time when I visited a cargo truck running fast almost turned turtle in front of the church. We were relieved that the driver and his assistant only suffered minor scratches and bruises. A neighbor brought out a first aid kit and tended the wounds. The contents of the truck were packages. Most of them were from OFWs to be delivered to their families. Most of the packages in the boxes were scattered on the road. Some were damaged, though. Everyone went to help gather them and put them back in the boxes. The driver and his assistant were amazed by the gestures. The driver was crying when he said thank you because he said that if that incident happened in other places, maybe some of the goods were stolen and that they would be responsible for the losses. What a wonderful feeling is that. When I got married, I left the place, but my family, my siblings, and their families are still there. We usually visit during the Holy Week and Christmas time. I get to mingle with the village folks during fiestas held every 1st of May in honor of our patron saint, Saint Joseph. Our chapel is named Saint Joseph, the Worker Catholic Chapel. It was there too that I exchanged I-do's with my husband, Greg. During fiestas, you get to see young and old people dancing the native dance in their costumes. We have public feeding too, where anyone get to line up on the street to get their food. Elders would play traffic enforcers as kids in smiling faces watch in the light. Why am I sharing you this? In August 21 to 31, 2011, a typhoon named Mina struck. The countries affected that time was the Philippines, Taiwan, and China. In the Philippines, deaths were totaled to 35, injuries to 37, and missing 8. Damage in properties in US dollars is 907.9 million. There is a barangay in Baguio named Irisan, and in it was also the dump site where they dump Baguio City's garbage every single day. During the typhoon Mina, the retaining walls of the dump site collapsed on one side. The side is going down towards the wood carving village, my community. Tons and tons of garbage rolled until our village. Properties, homes, vehicles were destroyed, but luckily there were no lives lost. Most affected was the water source of the village. The water source is located inside a cave between the dump site and the wood carving village. Members of the community did their best to clean up. It took them about a month to clear the way going inside the cave. After the cleanup, they all rejoiced. Water is back, but when they saw that the water coming out was not clear, they have to go back and see what was wrong. The water is clearer now, but it is not yet safe to use, especially when it comes to food. When it rains, the water becomes slimy. The village people get clean water from a nearby spring, and the drinking water, of course, from the water stations that have sprung up everywhere. I have made a vow, a commitment with myself that when I become royal master, I will help my beloved community in any way I can. I know that I can be because it is possible here in Atomy. There were times in the past when I was able to give small donations to the church and for the quiz on Christmas time. I believe in my heart that Atomy will help me realize the dream that I have for my community. I would love to see the village people drinking safe, clear, and clean water every day, enjoying every drop of it. So help me, God. This will be my way of giving back to the place that helped molded me to who am I today. Atomist culture of sharing is showing our love and care for one another. Thank you very much for listening. Let us continue sharing love. Let us continue sharing Atomy. Once again, this is Teresa A. Tican, Diamond Master, Isabella Cup Center. See you at the top, and God bless us all.